Hell of a week. Hell of a week. Ooh. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Y'all know what it is, man. The Something to Smoke To podcast. We're gonna get this thing started real quick. Y'all know how we do. We light, we smoke. Get our cigars ready, our liquor ready. We're gonna start this thing off right. Something to Smoke To podcast, man. I am Chris Hunter. I'm in the building, man. We smoking, we drinking, we getting ready for the weekend. Well, it's already in the weekend. We're getting ready for the week. We loving it, man. Something to Smoke To podcast. Y'all know I gotta introduce my brothers. Smokey, you know what the drill is, man. What you smoking, what you drinking.
Well, man, I ain't infused today for my infused folks, but I am on my palate breaker. My Arturo Fuente Hemingway. Man,
you went to the Hemingway.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What you said, you posted the smoke of the week.
Yeah. Man,
that thing hitting right. And then y'all know I'm pairing it with something sweet, bamboo. And man, it never goes wrong with the bamboo, you
know. Regardless, you gotta have something sweet in there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How was your week, man?
Man, my week was pretty good, man. Came off of COVID, you know. Bounced back pretty quick.
Who got you COVID?
Oh, that's a toss up. I don't know if one of our fellow brothers the job. I don't know. It's cold out there, man. It's a real cold days this week, man. And
if you watched the last episode, it was Kamal. All right, Kamal. Shout out to Kamal, man.
And man, hey, it didn't hit me too hard. Just a little bit of fever, and that's about it, brother.
Cool, man. We glad
little
you
cough,
good.
A little this. That's it.
Little cough?
Yeah, little cough.
You sound pretty bad when I talk to you, but you know, I'm glad you're
Yeah.
Steve-O, what's going on, brother? What you smoking, what you drinking?
So today I got a Padron 1926 anniversary, pairing it with my Sunday Best rum and Coke. Nice, can't go wrong cigar when you're on a Padron, that's for sure.
I hear you, man. How was your week?
Week was decent, man. Can't complain about nothing. Did run into a little problems the other day. I had messed around, did some white people shit.
That's not like you.
It's not
like you at all.
So I got a trip coming up to Jamaica, leaving next Friday. And because it's wintertime, I was like, man, every time we go to the Caribbean, I end up getting fried a little bit because I spend so much time in the sun. So I was like, I'm gonna get a little jump on it, get a little tan so I don't get burnt. Needless to say, I've never been to a tanning booth before, which is how this story comes about. So I go in there the other day and start talking to them, asking what options do I have, and they're like, oh, it's $11 for a session, blah, blah, blah. And I was telling them what I was doing. So, you can just get the whole week and then pay you $33. And I was like, okay, if I do that for 6 days at $11 a session, that's $60-something. If I just get the whole week up front, that's $33. I said, you can't beat that deal. I mean, I can go there for 6 times.
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm not sure if I'm ever going back again after the one damn trip. So the session is 11 minutes. I'm like, man, shit, I could spend an hour in the sun and not get fucked up. What I did not realize is in a tanning bed, you're essentially on the sun. So I went in there for
on the sun.
I went in there for the 11 minutes, and I did the stand-in one, and I went in there butt ass naked.
Oh my God! So everything is burnt.
Man, there are parts of my body that's never been hit by the sun before. You know, I don't just streak around nude. You know, anywhere. It ain't no damn TMI. I gotta tell anybody else that ever find himself in this position, man. Be careful what you get yourself into. So so not only am I a hot link, man, I got red ass.
Oh shit!
Like hey man,
yeah.
We was out last night at the listening at the listening party for shout out to Amy Luciani on her album listening party. That's our brother Z's daughter, man. Big ups to her. But so I'm going over there, and all y'all know I already got bad feet. So I'm walking around, my feet start hurting. I sit down, my ass hurting. I'm just rotating, like sit, stand, you know, trying to figure shit out.
Got them tender cheeks.
I'm standing over by the damn rail. I got Z and Smoke come up next to me. We just top it up, and I tell them, I said, man, I done fucked up this some white people shit. All I got out of my mouth, I didn't even get into the fucked up part. I just got into the part that I went to the tanning bed and Smoke damn near threw up. His first question is like, why? I was like, bitch, I'm not your complexion. I mean, hey, the sun will burn me. So I decided I'm gonna go in there, get a jump start on it, you know, get ready. I figure I'd go in there, you know, 6 times at 11 minutes a pop and just get a little tan. Man, if you saw, I look like goddamn a bag of Cheetos. Oh man. And if you've never had your balls fried, don't go into a tanning booth butt naked. I just looking like Christmas chicken. Hey,
so when you come back from Jamaica, you gonna be a light-skinned black man.
Hey, pretty much. Hey, the only upside is I started a week early, so I fried myself a week early, so I should be good by the time next Friday come when I get on that damn plane. But when I tell you, I'm sitting down right now with my ass hurting like shit. But I've been on my feet all day. I'm not sure which one is worse, man. You wear your drawers, the band around your waistline. Man. Shit.
Yeah, you got panty lines.
Oh my God, I ain't got no lines. I ain't got no lines.
Shoot, you was in the cheeks.
I said butt ass naked. Butt naked.
It's a real white people shit.
Hey, and when I went there, they said,
hey, you look like the hot dog on the grill that got the burnt stripe.
Hey, that's literally what it looked like too, man. Hey, the lady was like, you need some lotion? I was like, no, I don't need no damn lotion.
You should have took that.
Hey, I was so dehydrated when I came out that damn thing after 11 minutes. I was like, man, this is like a trip to the sun for real. I was like, 11 minutes did all this to you, man? I go home, I'm like, okay, I see a little redness going on.
Oh man.
And last night I was in pain, and then this morning I woke up in more pain.
Yeah.
I got up and looked in the mirror. I said, oh shit. Oh man. When I tell you that, y'all see that timeout sign on the screen right there? I look like the AFC symbol for anybody out there who for the Pro Bowl.
To the listeners, we're looking at the flag football game.
Peyton Manning's jacket. That's the color of my body right now. And my ass is super sensitive because that shit ain't never seen the sun until till that tanning booth. So that tells you how my whole week went well up until that moment right there. That's what I get for doing white people shit.
Wow.
Yeah, I've lost all train of thought.
And in conclusion, thank y'all for listening in on the pod.
The listeners don't mind if you don't have to stand up and walk around. They don't mind. They don't mind.
Wow.
I just keep leaning forward to shift pressure off, man, because my damn heels hurt so bad for being up all day. I did 5 miles in my backyard working in the backyard today.
I wish you would have told me. I would have had a cushion in here.
Nothing helps. Just not sitting on it. That's the only. Can't take a hot shower, man. That shit is even. Oh man. It's like somebody just take a hot iron to your body, man.
Yo, Son to Smoke 2 podcast, man. Trav, what you smoking? What you drinking, man?
Oh man.
He don't even know no more. He's like, what does it matter? What does it matter?
It don't really matter no more.
Oh man. Smoking on Arturo Fuente Opus X for Affection number 4, and sipping on a little bit of bamboo like smoke.
Okay.
Can't get rid of that sweet. Feel my brother over there.
How was your week, bro?
It was actually pretty good, man. Usually I have so much to do that I don't get everything done, but I actually felt like I accomplished something this week.
Yeah.
So, feel like I'm breaking down that long list that just keeps getting longer, but I'm getting further up on it. So, chopping away.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
list.
Yeah, I understand that list will grow. Well, y'all know what I'm doing, man. I'm smoking the God of Fire KKP. This is a special reserve. Came out for the 15th anniversary of God of Fire.
Salute.
And actually the 30th anniversary of Prometheus. Undisclosed binder and filler and wrapper, so it's some limited shit. Y'all know how I do. I am drinking Hennessy Black, which Steve put me on the other week, man. And I really like it, man. I'm still on my cognac kick. I'm feeling good, feeling great, man. Something to Smoke 2 podcast.
How was your week?
Man, my week was pretty good, man. I'm like Trav, knocking down some things. Actually, today was really good. I got like 3 listening appointments just in a span of 30 minutes today.
Is that why that sign's in your front yard? top 10%.
I am in the top 10% of the county. You know. I try not to brag about that type of shit, but you know, I'm doing what I do, man, and trying to do better. Right now, man, Something to Smoke To podcast. We got one of our brothers in the building, man. One of our brothers. This guy here. I almost called him something else. This guy here. Byron, what's up, bro?
What's going on, brothers? Thank y'all for the invite. You know, it's always good chopping it up and smoking with you guys.
Hey, man. What you smoking? What you drinking?
Okay, I am smoking a Drew Estate Liga Privada Velvet Rat. And
Velvet Rat, huh?
Yeah.
So you went limited too?
Oh, yeah, always. And I'm almost like you. And I think
almost. You
almost
taught me. Motherfucker.
Appreciate
that. What you wanted to call it in the first time.
Try to act.
Yeah, Byron got expensive taste now. Let's not get that twisted.
Hey, trust, Byron has been smoking over 20 years, man. He is the aficionado in the group. So what you drinking, brother?
I'm drinking a Heineken. I'm just mild today. The smoke, if anybody...
I'm not even going to ask why you keeping it mild.
Yeah, thank you, please. I don't remember last night. We're going to leave it like that.
We'll leave it at that.
That's okay. Me and Smoke remember.
We remember.
They can fill in all the gaps.
We'll keep that off.
Everything.
It was tax related.
It was tax related.
Yes.
We're going to get to that.
And the smoke is, I think it's Connecticut leaf.
Connecticut broadleaf.
Yeah, broadleaf. The binder is a Brazilian binder, and the filler is Nicaraguan and Honduras. So it has like a woody, peppery taste.
Yeah. It's one of your favorites, huh?
All day.
Yeah, he is a Liga guy. Something to Smoke To podcast, man. We're having us a good time. Right now, I'm gonna go into something that the viewers actually requested. They wanted us to kind of go in depth on pairings that we like when we're smoking our cigar. This is something that came across the table a couple weeks ago, so I want to make sure the viewers know we paying attention to what you ask and your request.
Yes.
So we're gonna get it in. I'm gonna start off my favorite pairing. My favorite pairings is Cuban coffee and Colombian coffee. I would say I like to pair my cigar with water. As far as cognac, I'm liking that Camus Port Cask is what me and Steve been drinking lately. My favorite Scotch, and everybody don't have to list out like I have, but I just want to put people on game with what I do. Dalmore 18 Scotch. It's a pretty expensive Scotch, but it's really good. I think I've said on the podcast before, Uncle Nearest small batch with the white label, that whiskey, I really like that. As far as wines is concerned, right now as a group, we've been drinking the Earl Stevens. We've been drinking 19 Crimes. One of my favorite. Yeah, shout out to E40. One of my favorite is Continuum Wine Cabernet, and I like a Josh Cabernet. I know I gave a long list, but I really wanted to let you know some of the shit that I pair my cigar with.
Yeah.
Smokey, what you thinking, man? What's your favorite pairings?
Well, y'all already know I stay on the sweet side, man. I do Bumbu, man. I really like Bumbu. Yeah. It's made in Brazil. Some may say Barbados. You know, it's got notes of cinnamon, roasted nuts, and got a little spices into it too. So you know, man, and that the nuts and the cinnamon really give it that sweet taste, man. And I like a sweet taste with my cigar because sometimes it's the aftertaste for me after smoking a cigar. Yeah. The sweet taste kind of help that tartness that you get from a cigar sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's why I like keeping things sweet with something like a cigar that's a little bitter.
Okay.
So man, I also like a little Bacardi 10. That's my next go-to, which is another sweet. And it drinks real good, man. I really like that Bacardi 10. And my wine of choice, which is probably the only wine I really drink, is Earl Stevens, man. I just got on the Earl Stevens, and this group pretty much just got on this Earl Stevens. E40, you really made a good red wine, man. I really like that.
What's the price point on that E40?
That price point is right at, I want to say $13.
That ain't bad.
$13 a bottle. I think $11.99 if you're catching it on a good day.
Yeah, I say that ain't bad. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I try to get it 2 bottles at a time. I can't lie to you.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Something to Smoke 2 podcast. Steve-O, we're gonna keep it going, brother.
All right, so I'm gonna go with a couple of them. I'm gonna go. This morning I was sitting on the back porch with a cup of coffee and an infused cigar, nothing special, a Tatiana. And for the first time, I poked it and didn't cut it. And for any of y'all who smoke Tatianas, you know you might as well be dipping if you smoke one of those after you cut them, because about halfway through, tobacco is coming all up in there. But I just took not a punch. I just took a straight poker and just poked the hole in the back.
Yeah.
And it was really good. Not the greatest cigar, but when you're talking about an infused cigar with a cup of coffee, just sitting in the back porch, and the whole world disappears, man. I mean, it was like peace on earth, man. Just listen to a little bit of smooth jazz back there. Look at Byron, just he over there rocking right now. He's just like, man, that's what I'm talking about right there. We all know that feeling, right?
Yeah.
All know that feeling. So that's one perspective of it. And based on our previous conversations, my go-to hasn't changed in any kind of way, and that's the Arturo Fuente, the Añejo. That's tried and true. And the pairings, I can go on and on with that right now. On the cognac side, the Cayman's definitely is going to be a really good one. That's at about a $70 bottle. But I tell you what, this Black Hennessy is hey, that's nothing to sneeze at, man.
Really sucked at that Black Hennessy.
Yeah, at a just $10 more than the regular Hennessy, which I'm not a big fan of that. But the Black, that's something special. And then if I was going into the Scotch world, something we ain't did in a while, our Chivas 18. If you turn back the hands of time, man, that's
did a lot of that.
Yeah, we just fell off of it after a while because we just keep on moving on down the road, and then from a wine perspective, I'm still the 19 Crimes guy. That Earl Stevens ain't nothing to sneeze at, though. And Z introduced us not too long ago to Three Sisters wine, which was really good with the pairing. And that's on the red side. If it's and typically I do dry in the winter, I do sweet in the summer. So for me, on the sweet side, it's a Duplin.
Okay.
Doesn't matter which one, man. Duplin's just a good sweet wine to sit back with the cigar. And then one other thing that I picked up somewhere, I was at a wedding party, and we were drinking. They had some Chardonnay there, but it was a very low alcohol content Chardonnay, so I had to spike it up. So I took a shot of vodka and put it inside there, and it really changed the taste on it. So that's a really good pairing as well.
What kind of vodka you put in?
Doesn't really matter. Like we did it at Smoke's house on Wednesday. I had the hard Chard 19 Crimes, which is already 16.5% alcohol, and I was just over there chopping it up with Z. And I said, "Man, you ever had vodka in your Chardonnay?" He's like, "No." And we went through quite a bit of that that night. Now it amplifies the alcohol content. That one specifically was a Kettle One. But I don't think it's really gonna matter. I'm not too peculiar.
That's a bartender's choice right there.
Oh,
Every bartender I've met.
Oh yeah.
Say Kettle One is the one.
Yeah, it is. And for people who are trying to minimize the sugar, the Tito's is always a go-to. Now, I know a lot of ladies like to do the Tito's, but I'm not super peculiar when I'm mixing. I don't get caught up. Now some people can absolutely taste the difference. I could, like Byron's wife. It's the what's your wife's vodka? Grey Goose.
Grey Goose.
You can't hoodwink.
Yes. No.
You can't hoodwink her. You can mix that with anything you want, and you could tell her it's Grey Goose, and she's going. And that ain't no Grey Goose. She's one of the only people I know that can literally distinguish in a mixed drink what kind of vodka you have in there. So for me, I can go for a $10 bottle of vodka to mix in a drink, but it was just to change the flavor a little bit and to increase the alcohol content. Now, putting it in the hard Chard, don't make no plans to go nowhere, because at 16.5% plus a shot of vodka times a whole bottle, you do the math.
I imagine that wine gonna make it go to the blood real quick.
Yes, indeed it does. So
Lay it down.
That's my synopsis.
Man, that's what I'm talking about, man. Something to Smoke 2 podcast. I'm gonna move it over to Byron. Byron. What's your favorite pairings, brother?
Well, you all know what I drink, and
you gotta tell the people.
Unlike you all, they drink the darkest of the dark liquors.
We do.
I try to stay away from it, so I'm a tequila guy. So I normally would drink tequila or a Heineken. If I have to go dark, I'll do Basil Hayden, which is I think is a bourbon.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I can tolerate a Basil Hayden. In the morning, if I'm gonna do coffee, I'm gonna do a Padron liqueur. And don't know, we went to the DR.
High five to that. I had that coffee in my Patron in my coffee this morning.
Oh, you did?
I did. I mixed
Nice.
it today.
Yeah. So it's
Coffee and Patron?
There's a Patron liqueur. There's a cocoa one. There's a coffee one. Then there's that spicy one.
When you get in duty free.
Yeah.
So when we went to the DR, we went and I found this liqueur that I had never seen. One was chocolate, another one had chocolate and chili peppers. So if I'm chili, it's a spice. It's very spicy. So
it's
it gives
on fire.
Sound like a stomach breaker.
Yeah.
Like
Booty burner.
Shit.
So that's what I normally pair, and I hate to segue, but also in that trip, that's the trip we got the guys did to the Dominican Republic. These guys abused this guy from Philly named Billy from Philly. And so a segue, we after going to doing the Arturo Fuente tour and the other excursions we did, we looked at a timeshare, and this 4'2" guy named Billy from Philly was giving us a tour and everything, and the guys kind of abused him in the elevator, but I digressed on that.
Yeah. Let's not go too far.
Because we not pairing nothing with Billy.
Nothing.
We not
We ain't
pairing
even
shit.
getting a result
But obviously
with
Billy was on your mind, but we gonna get back to that.
Right.
Trav, what's your favorite pairings, brother?
I haven't ventured out as much as you all with the pairing. Still sticking with coffee a little bit, just different types of coffee, different mixtures.
Yeah.
The number one that I like is the Don Carlos number 2 with just your average Starbucks caramel coffee. It's really, really good, really, really smooth, simple. And if you get called to do something, you can jump up, go do it. You ain't got to worry about drinking, during the week. You can basically enjoy it every single day. Right. Sitting with you fellas, I've been kind of experimenting with the wines with the 19 Crimes from Steve, the Earl Stevens red wine with smoke, and I usually pair those up, mix it up, seeing what I find I like. And the one pairing I did like with the Earl Stevens was the Foundation Tabernacle. Okay. Because it's a strong cigar.
Oh, and then he matching cigars up with the liquor. I see you. A
little bit of a not so sweet red wine, has a hint of it, so they kind of pair off and make it a real nice pairing. But those are the two that I found that are kind of stick worthy. You get on a week to week basis. It don't really hit your pockets all that much.
Yeah. Man, that's what's up, man. Favorite pairings, man. We getting it in, man. Shout out to the viewers requesting that information from us, and we're gonna talk about that a lot because y'all see this is what we do. Yeah. We like to sit back, enjoy our spirits, and smoke a cigar, man. Have a good time, have a good conversation with the fellas, man. Transitioning, man, it's been a hell of a week. I don't know whether I want to start with football or basketball. Like, this shit has been amazing. I'm gonna get football out the way because we ain't got number one more game between the Chiefs and the Eagles, man. But I'm looking forward to that game. I hate that the Eagles beat the 49ers, but it happens. Purdy got hurt in that game, and it was downhill from there. But after the game of the Chiefs and the Bengals, I'm watching the game, and after the game they show the celebrations. Online they catch everything. They catch everything. So one of the interviewers, I guess, was interviewing Patrick Mahomes' dad, and he basically asked him, what you smoking on, because he had a cigar in his hand, and he goes and say, I'm smoking on that Joe Burrow pack tonight. I'm smoking on that Joe Burrow pack. That's what he say. Yeah. But I was with him with that because I'm all good with the shit talk. I love it. I love the shit talk. But then he lit the cigar up with a Bic. with a big
Disrespect
lighter.
So
cigar.
disrespectful.
Disrespect.
Another, you light your cigar with what you got, but at the same time, man, all the tobacconists that I know say you should not light your cigar with a big lighter because the fumes
flavor.
or something, the flavor, it fucks up the cigar. I want to ask, in your rookie days, have you ever lit your cigar with a big? Did you ever make that mistake? Because I've never done that. I always had a torch lighter.
No.
But
No.
have you ever done? Who has tasted that shit?
None of us.
I think maybe Gamal.
I've been hanging around y'all fellas.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Maybe Gamal.
Maybe Gamal. Yeah, Gamal. And I just say, man, with y'all fellas, y'all ain't gonna let me do nothing like that. So if I did anything cheap, it's a match.
Well, let me ask
I lit with a match.
aficionado.
A lot of
in the
people
room.
love the matches for lighting cigars.
I lit with a match.
wood.
That's the only other thing.
Yeah, the aficionado in the room, Byron. Have you made that mistake before in a drunken stupor?
Or maybe only option.
Yeah, I have not, because you know the drawback with that, but it's two disrespectful things you can do to a cigar.
Yeah.
And one is to light it with a $2 big cigar, big lighter, and to crush your cigar when you're putting it out. You don't do that.
Yeah, you don't do that. I've seen.
You saying don't out like a cigarette? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you don't do it like that. It's not a Black and Mild, so you don't. I know some cigar places, the majority of them will not even allow you to bring that in their spot. They will put you out.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of cigar owners
be in
get
a
mad
lot of
about that shit. Just pushing out of the cigar, especially when the worst part is when you've given someone an expensive cigar or something that you really like, and they smoke about half of it, and then just dump it out and just crush it like a fucking Newport.
There's two things that went wrong. You added a cigar halfway through, and then the second one is you squashed that thing into the ashtray.
Two disrespectful
Yeah,
things.
that is. One of them I think there's a law against. I'm pretty sure.
And I'm gonna give another segue. Shout out to Cigar Times. It's a cigar shop. It's a cigar shop near Centennial Park in Atlanta. So I work downtown, and I invited Chris to come smoke with me, and so me, Chris, and the cigar owner down there.
Oh yeah.
And this guy, he just dumped the cigar, and and the owner, he's a very reserved guy. He was like, "What the fuck did you just do?"
He stopped. He wasn't even paying attention to dude, but when he dumped it, he just turned his head. What the fuck did you just do? He was mad as hell.
Did he kick him out?
He wanted to.
He didn't kick him out, but he probably left early because he got cussed out.
Right.
About it. Yeah, that was a terrible thing. So somebody, please get Patrick Mahomes' dad a real lighter if he's gonna smoke cigars. I don't know if he'll be smoking a cigar this next game because Philly, hey man, they looking pretty tough, bro.
Man.
They looking pretty tough. I want to go around the room and see who picking who, man. To be honest with you, I don't want to say this, man, but I think Philly gonna win, man.
I agree.
I think Philly got what it takes. They got the defense, and I'm a defensive guy. What you think,
a balanced offense.
I think that's how I see it. Philly got tough defense. Both of them high scorers though. But aren't both of them like number one in
total offense?
Yeah, in total offense.
I mean, I want to be clear. I'm going for the Chiefs, but Philly.
It's gonna be tough.
Philly just seems like a more balanced team, and it seemed like in the last 2 to 3 games, Kansas City's been getting those out of nowhere luck plays that bring them back, put them up, or either put them in a place where they pretty much can carry out the game. But I don't think you're gonna get them that many mistakes against Philly.
So y'all think Patrick's ankle still hurt?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he definitely. Playing
he's
hurt.
not. He may not.
Definitely playing hurt.
He ain't gonna be hobbling, but he ain't 100%.
And if Philly looking at that, they're gonna expose that. What you think, Steve? Because Philly is in your Cowboys division.
Yes. Typically, I hate Philly because I'm a Cowboys fan.
America's team.
Let's start there.
Yeah.
From a defensive standpoint, Kansas City can't hold water to them. Offensively, they can match back and forth. I think Philly has the edge when it comes to the defense. However, we're in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and this is it.
There's a mental difference. No matter how great you are, those nerves can get you. And Kansas City, I think Mahomes at the age of 27 has had more playoff appearances in his short time frame than anybody else in NFL history. So calm, cool, and collective is where he's going to be. And we've seen him win a game in 13 seconds, right?
Yes.
He's a hell of a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, you had 16 seconds left in the game, and you did it in 13, and you drove down the field. I mean, what does that say about something? So I think that edge of that experience of being in the playoffs could give them that edge. But I will say, Jalen Hurts seems unbothered by anything, and now maybe that's the 2 national championships, being on the highest stage, playing for, the greatest current college team in history under Nick Saban. You can tell he has his calmness in his body, man. He's never wavered one time since he's been in the league, man. And you're talking about a dude who was benched as a starter with a winning record. He has a 26-2 college record.
Yep.
And the dude got benched. And I actually read an article today. I'm getting slightly off topic over here. Nick Saban recommended for him to go to Oklahoma. He said he's a great guy. He's a genius. He just got beat out by somebody. So he actually recommended that he go to.
He ain't beat out now.
No, he's not. But it just so he made that's. Maybe the Super Bowl is not a stage too big for him. Obviously, it's going to be bigger than the national championship, but you done been there twice, so you know how that feels to be on that stage and to be in the highest ranked college football team in the last 20 years as far as the state. Everybody knows who Alabama is, and maybe over the next few years, Georgia will be that team, because it seems like that dynasty is starting to change a little bit.
We going that way, baby.
So we'll see how that pans out. And then Kirby Smart is a disciple of Nick Saban anyway, so he has those same philosophies and mentalities in there, and then he has a little more youth on his side, even though Nick Saban. I think he still got the number 1 recruiting class going into the next year, even with the NIL and all that out there. Yeah. But so
he's still a hell of a coach,
No, he is, and because I shouldn't even root for Philly because I'm a Cowboys fan, but because Kansas City already has a Super Bowl with the with most of with the staff that they currently have on hand. I think they got the most returners to the Super Bowl.
So you're going
versus are they the underdog? And if they are, what are we at? 3 points or somewhere around there?
Can we call them the underdog?
But just because for the storyline, I'm big on storylines when it comes to things. I was earlier in the year, I was rooting for Tua with Miami. Having everybody talk about him being put off the team, this, that, and the other. Right. If it wasn't for the injuries and the concussions, it might be a much different game there. But I find myself pulling for Philly.
Yeah. I know that's real hard to say.
We got some first time things going on. First 2 black quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shout out to that, man. First 2 black quarterbacks to play in the Super Bowl, man.
The youngest 2 quarterbacks to ever play each other in the Super Bowl.
And they're dual.
It's a new day.
Aren't both of them considered dual threat?
Oh, most definitely.
Dual threat. Yeah, and they both dual threat. And then man, we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see a lot of scoring. Watch out.
I think we're gonna see a hell of a show. I don't know about a lot of scoring, but we're gonna see a hell of a show.
I think it has to be. I don't think Philly wins without a lot of scoring because Patrick Mahomes. We all see what the dude does. It doesn't matter how great your defense is. It's like, dude, you doing a cartwell and throwing the ball at the same time. 40 yards down the field.
Flick he does.
Yeah, I mean that's insane.
Crazy.
That's insane, man. And it's not just one thing. It's that the dude has accuracy anything with any way that ball comes out of his hands, man. It's incredible what he's able to do. That's their advantage on there. But I think it has to be a shootout. I just don't think Philly's defense can contain Patrick Mahomes like that, no matter how good they are. And Kansas City's defense just not as good as Philly's defense, so Jalen Hurts is going to get his as well.
But the question is Kansas City going to roll him out as usual with that bad ankle? Are they going to try to protect him a little bit more?
He's a freestyle quarterback. I mean, you're going to have those things he does. There's no way you can script a backflip 40-yard pass,
No, but you can't on a bum ankle.
No, I get it, but depending on how, I mean, look what he did. He was mobile enough in the last game, and now you're another 2 weeks in there. Now, high ankle sprains take a while to heal. They don't heal fast, so he'll probably feel that. But I'm sure they're gonna give them something to take some of the edge off prior to the game, and then adrenaline is something special.
I'm hoping he's feeling better.
You see guys run have a broke foot and run 40 yards in a 3.5, and then just take a wheelchair back to the pocket afterwards. Because the adrenaline just takes over for that moment, man.
Byron, who you pick, brother? Who you pick?
Shout out, of course, to Kansas City and to Philadelphia for making it to the Super Bowl. Philly defense, I really hadn't been paying attention to how stout they are on the defense. I was very impressed with the pressure they was able to get on the quarterback.
Yeah.
And to me,
you didn't have to be impressed with that shit.
Yeah.
I wasn't impressed.
I know, and I was almost amazed that San Francisco didn't know. Okay, we need to make sure we chip this guy. We do something. But
man,
they also didn't have time to make adjustments.
Was terrible, man.
Yeah. But San Francisco never had time to make adjustments. Purdy went out too early because I think it would have been different as the game went on. But when you took Purdy out the game, everything changed because nothing was out of control at that point. It just, man, you got your third string quarterback get hurt, then your fourth string quarterback get hurt.
Yeah.
Then McCaffrey's the quarterback. Come on, man. You don't stand you don't stand a chance.
Damn. So you got Philly. I
got Philly, but it's for Patrick Mahomes to win. I think if the ball is in his hand, he's gonna win it. So the less mistakes Patrick Mahomes makes, and to me will determine the game. I think all Jalen has to do is manage the game if the defense is there.
He's one of the best at doing that, man. Something to Smoke 2 podcast, man. We still going. We done started up real good. Shifting gears a little bit, basketball. We about to close out football. They had the flag football Pro Bowl game today. Yeah, that was some straight bullshit. So I'm gonna move along past that. But basketball, we've had a hell of a week. It's like these young guys are trying to bring back the old league. We've had several brawls this week. We've had Dylan Brooks and Donovan Mitchell. Had a little scuffle. I don't know if I can call it a fight, but it was a little scuffle.
Hugging.
They were hugging a little bit.
But man, if somebody swung at your nuts, you gonna throw a ball too.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not mad at Spider at all, man. I'm not mad at Donovan Mitchell at all, man. But we've also had Austin Rivers and Mo Bamba from Orlando get into it. They had a little scuffle. It's been a hell of a week, man. Do y'all feel like these young guys is really they getting chippy enough to bring back that old feeling we used to have when the Pistons and the Bulls and the Knicks was battling that out?
I just think the league ain't gonna let it happen.
You don't
know
so?
What I'm saying? I think the referees ain't gonna let it happen.
What's say Byron? Hold on. What's say Byron?
I wish they would bring it back because to me the basketball NBA is passive. It's so passive now. You can't touch, you can't do nothing. You letting these guys do wide open shots. The lane wide open, nobody's being challenged. And to me, I understand it's about scoring and everything, but to me it's a physical aspect that the NBA is missing. So hey, just let the guys play.
And I think the physical aspect bring enthusiasm.
Yeah,
it do. It make you want to watch it some more. You never know what's gonna happen. What you thinking over there, Steve? You thinking we getting that old thing back?
No, I agree with Smoke on that one.
No.
The league's just not going to let it happen. The penalty's too costly for the crime.
Yeah.
These folks ain't going to be wanting to sit on the sidelines. They probably would absorb the fines and be okay with that. But to not be able to play, that's a big deal, especially as you start getting further along in the year. Back in the day, you sit there and you roundhouse somebody in the face. You just get
your coach probably told you to do
no more Ron Artest moments.
No,
they not having that.
And
that's what they're scared of. You know what I'm saying? They not having that.
Shout out to Charles Oakley, man. Anthony Mason,
Steven,
man.
Steven Smith.
They don't hate no players.
But all the rules are already adjusted to what makes money to begin with. Offense generates money, just like it does in the NFL, just like it does in basketball. Hockey's never going to get away from fighting because that's where their money's at. Because hockey's never going to be as prolific as these other sports. Because why is that the only sport where you can sit there and knock people's teeth out their mouth and ain't nothing happening to you? You just pick it up, put it in somebody's hand like they're gonna put it back in later. I'm like, and now it's like a badge of honor. Them cats like, I'm not getting no replacement. Bitches, you crazy?
Hey, man, have you been to a hockey game?
I ain't been to no hockey game.
I ain't never been one either.
I've been to one here in Atlanta, man, and the whole time you're waiting to see who gonna start a fight.
That's my point.
That's what you go there for.
That's the point. That's the point. But a lot of us love to see defensive games. It's a good thing, but it's never going to be the revenue generator that offense. That's why the NFL cater their rules to the offense, and they make it a lot harder on the defense.
The NBA.
NBA too. What's the average score now? Back when we was young, if you hit 100 points, you was somebody special.
Average score used to be what, 70, 80 points?
Yeah, now what's it, 130? Somewhere around there. You see as the average score.
The West would be 100-point scores. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, and that
the East
that brought a lot, and players that had contracts in the West was bigger contracts.
Well, there's bigger markets,
and it was bigger markets. You know what I'm saying? So the league just figured out, well, hey, we could get this market all around the globe. So you know what I'm saying? That's why they went to more offense. But I think it takes the defensive side of basketball out of the game because it trickles down to college and high school.
Right.
And now you have kids that don't even put their hands up on defense. So I look at it like that aspect. But like Steve say, we all know that offense brings the money. That's all it is to it.
I'm here to tell them, fighting brings the money too.
Drama is the money too. Yeah.
But also,
I know they don't want to do that shit, but
the youth is no longer being raised to hit because they want to protect the youth. And obviously you got to do that. You got to prevent the head injuries. You see a lot. You hear a lot of NFL players don't even let their kids play youth sports because they don't want them getting hurt early. So when you're preaching offense, even as a kid, it's more flag football. I'm not saying there's not tackle football, but they're more prone to do that because now it's more based off skills and not that. So when you're not coming up in that environment, in that aggression, that's not going to roll over because you have no aggression to bring over into that next level. So
right. Yeah. Man, shout out to the NBA, man. Actually, shout out to the small market teams like Memphis, Milwaukee, Sacramento, Cleveland. Some of these teams, if y'all haven't watched them recently, man, they have been playing some real good ball. Basketball, I have to give it to the small market teams, man. Something to Smoke 2 podcast, man. We're going to keep it moving along, man. Obviously, the next subject is manly hobbies and moving along from basketball because all of us watch sports and smoke cigars and things.
We're going to go without talking about Kyrie.
Man, Kyrie, man.
We're going to go without talking.
That's an audible because that just happened today. So, hey, but you're right. Okay. You're right. We can't not talk.
We're going to keep this shit rough and raw
without Kyrie.
I'm going to put the rewind button here. We going back to basketball.
Yo, Lord, flag on the play. Flag on the play.
We got a flag. Yes. Come on, man. We got a motherfucking flag.
Man, so Kyrie moved to Dallas the same thing as the Nets?
Is it?
Because Luka is pretty much KD.
Yeah.
It's the same type of ball play.
Well, actually, it's worse. And in my opinion, it's worse because Luka is playing point. Kyrie plays point. KD at least don't play point.
Right.
And he's not looking to, just distribute the ball all the time. Kyrie and Luka are playing literally the same position. And I imagine Kyrie is going to be the two guard in the situation because Luka is still going to be the man with the ball. He's bringing the ball up. He's the guy. He's the young guy. He's arguably MVP at some point in the near future. And Kyrie is playing the same position. We all know Kyrie got better handles. He's a veteran. He's overall probably a better player. I would argue that he's a better player. In my opinion, some people would say, no, Luka, Magic, this. We talking about Kyrie. We talking about the guy that you get him the ball in the last couple of seconds, he's going to win you a championship. He's done it before. Luka has not. Until Luka proved that, I can't put him over Kyrie. But Kyrie on the Mavs, I don't even think he's staying. I think he's going to play the rest of the year, and then he's off to LA. That's what I think the move is. What y'all think about it?
Actually, better question. How many of y'all bought into the hype that was going around before the trade that he was going to the Lakers?
He probably on his way to the Lakers after this year.
I think the Lakers did what they could do, but is the Lakers paying Russell Westbrook a top contract to be coming off as a 6-man.
It doesn't make any sense to do the trade anyways. You go to the end of the year. This is it for Russell Westbrook's contract. Who's the trade gonna be for?
It was going to be for Russell. That was the whole.
The
rumors.
So does Brooklyn want that? First of all,
right?
Because that comes with its own drama, and not even outside the game, just inside the game. They played together. Do they want to play together again? You know, I mean, they had a great trio when they was in Oklahoma City, but that was with James Harden as the 6th man coming off the bench. They were phenomenal. If that core might have stayed together a little bit longer, but you can't be mad at you can't be mad at James Harden wanting to go somewhere and start. He was the ultimate 6th man. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
No check.
Shout out to LeBron and the Heat. Knocking that off back in the day. They made sure that shit wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Heat, man.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I said, y'all see one of our hobbies is looking at sports. We are avid sports fans. We look at it while we smoking cigars and drinking during the week. But moving along, what type of hobbies that you all like to do as a man to occupy your time when you have a little free time? Now, all of us work and some of us have businesses and things, but what are the things you like to do when you got a little free time? Now, I'm gonna start by saying I like listening to music, obviously listening to podcasts and reading some of the books I'm on. One of the books I'm on right now is The Alchemist. This is probably my 4th time reading this book, but
excellent read.
Such a good book that I gotta go back to it because I get a lot out of it. What's some of your hobbies? And I'm gonna shift it over to Byron first on this one.
And free time is so limited. All of
free
us.
time is limited, but I want to know for the people what some of the things you like to do, bro.
I like to play golf. It's just something about hitting a white ball straight, man. Just on good days.
Did you say a white ball straight? That almost sound racist. Didn't it? You get another flag on the play. A white ball straight. Okay.
I can offer you a red ball right now.
Shout out to Steve's ass. Pause.
The red balls in the house.
What else you like to do?
And outside of that, I like
besides hitting white balls.
White balls. I like playing tennis. Of course, I like listening to jazz or smooth jazz.
Okay.
I just love music. So old school R&B.
Yeah.
I love like Isaac Hayes or Curtis Mayfield. I just love listening, to that and listen to the young guys. We're gonna get into that later
too.
Yeah. So that's really my hobbies. Just pretty much, tennis, golf, and just listening to music.
So you like the sports side of things,
right?
I love it. Steve-O, what's some of your favorite hobbies? I know you got a few that I can think of. Let you tell the people.
They all resonate in my backyard. In the day, that's the only place I like to spend my time. I like to do things that allow my mind to be at ease. I told y'all earlier today earlier this year for the not our resolution, but the things we're trying to do. And mine was to keep my mind at peace. So working in my backyard is what I love to do, and doing it alone a lot of times is what I love to do because it allows you to think. I know we always in those spots where we get to talk to ourselves, and sometimes that's your greatest piece that you can have. I sat back there today before I started working, like I told you earlier, cup of coffee and a cigar, some smooth jazz playing in the background, man. You just like, man, this you just can't beat this. And then got in, put in a couple hours of yard work, and fired up the grill.
Yeah.
Made had some burgers and sweet potato French fries for dinner.
Yeah.
We came over here, man.
Trying to make us hungry.
But for me, my hobby is the main one is to sustain what we have. Everything I do in that yard is for my family, which includes this group. That's my extended family. So that's my biggest hobby. We do everything together all the time. Maybe not all together at the same time, but somebody always with somebody somewhere.
Yes,
I think my wife was commenting last night. She's like, "Well, you motherfuckers can go anywhere and it'll be y'all together. It don't matter. It can be a million people in the damn place.
One band, one sound.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how it is, man. That's just the comfort zone in there. And I do enjoy going out a little bit more than I did once upon a time. That's another topic we got tonight when it comes to keeping it hot, in there. But for me, man, it's always still gonna be peace on earth. I'm that time. I told myself, I was in the backyard spending some me time. She's like, I was gone for 3 days. You had all the me time you want. I said, hey, man, don't knock me for my 1 hour that I sat back there smoking that cigar. I said it's important to have that. You know, you don't want to do the week.
Baby.
You got
it's
work. You got your spouse. You got this group. You know those. But there's something to be said about your time to yourself and your thoughts to yourself to make sure that you keep yourself at peace.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, before I move along, how that Padron smoking, man?
Hey, you could taste the hints of cocoa.
Cocoa.
Hey, man, what's aficionados out
with
there?
the cocoa? Okay, Steve, since
taste the cocoa.
You got the mic. You were gifted something last night.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Yes. See, this is when you know you got real brothers, when they don't give you bunk ass cigars when you're out. So
Okay.
Byron come out into the to the listening party, and I had brought me a couple cigars, but for some reason I got friends who go out without fucking cigars.
Oh.
I don't know how. Smoke and Z.
Who is that?
Let me start off with Z, because Z come in there talking about, man, I left my cigar, but I brought my lighter. Well, bitch, you on short. And I brought
you didn't get a cigar and waited.
No, I did. Hold on, not that one. No, time out. I brought 2 cigars, and I was like, I'm gonna bring one just in case somebody. Well, actually, I was gonna bring a 3rd cigar in case somebody needed one, because I was like, I know I'm gonna smoke 2.
Yeah.
But then I told myself, nah, I'm good with 2. And as soon as I got there, Z's like, man, I left my cigar on the counter. And I looked at him, he said, but I got my lighter. I was like, what the fuck that mean? And I was like, but you know, hey, but we always gotta, but we always gotta be our brother's keeper, right?
We do.
So Byron come up in there, and he's like, he pulls out his AG bag. He say, hey, Steve, I got 2 cigars. I was like, yeah, I ain't got none. And he's like, which one you want? So he got that. Was it a Liga number 9? Was that the number 9? He had a number 9 in there.
H99.
That was H99.
Somebody asked you for a cigar before he came.
I didn't have one.
You should have passed that one along to the person that asked.
No.
Who was that, Smoke?
Yeah. Hey, the Smoke wasn't ready for that shit. No way.
I didn't want to waste it. I saw what it was. I saw what it was.
Yeah, I don't think you've ever smoked that one. I never even heard of it until last night, because I'm looking at the bands. It's a little dark in there. I thought that was a 9, but H99, which is for me still a powerful cigar. But then it was the Liga Prestige.
Yep, the Prestige.
God damn. Hey, that was another beautiful cigar. Byron kept asking about it throughout the night as I was smoking it. But there was a point in time I was like, I only had 2 glasses of liquor, and I'm on this cigar, and I'm feeling some kind of way. It cannot be the liquor. So I stopped drinking the liquor, because I was like, well, I'm not going to stop smoking the cigar. So I stopped drinking the liquor. But that was a phenomenal cigar. First time for me, Liga Prestige. But that Ligas ain't no joke, man. If you not ready, don't pick up a Liga.
Right.
Hey, man, that's what I'm talking about. Smokey, what's some of your favorite things to do, bro?
Man, y'all know me, man. I'm a country boy, man. I love to fish, man. And my thing is, man, when I get my time to woo-saw, like Steve say, my time to myself, I'm getting in my boat, I'm going to the reservoir, I'm going fishing. And I'm gonna put it out like this right here, man. To all my people that I follow on YouTube, Richard Jean, The Fishing Machine, Crappy Head TV, Hook City TV.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Fishing Ken, man. Shout out to y'all boys, man. I watch y'all on them crappie, fishing them for them crappie, man, and that's all I do when I get.
You know, the most amazing thing about that is that we have received no fish from Smoke.
Zero.
Not a drop.
However, he will post the hell out of them on the group text. Yeah, right. Hey, the grill will have about 500 fish on there. No, not one invite. Like, boom. Look at all these fish. Them damn things should be flapping in on the grill. And I'm like, we be sitting somewhere and like, and you know, Eddie Petty ass, he ain't gonna invite nobody.
You got to give Smoke some credit. Even though he don't give us the fish, he'll hit a damn deal and put that shit on the grill.
He will. He get rid of the deal.
He's stingy with the fish. I guess it's something personal because he caught him. He ain't killed a deer, but he caught the fish.
Well,
so he got
I'll put it like this in, man. When I catch fish, I can't lie. I eat them joints because I ain't gonna say I'm the greatest at catching them. So when I get on them and I eat them. I ain't gonna lie. I haven't shared with the fellas. I ain't gonna lie about it.
Hey,
You can't lie. We gonna tell the truth.
We pretty much know,
Yeah.
after you show us the video that you already ate it.
Yeah. Then I'm like, Steve, man, my backyard is my oasis, man. I invite my brothers over. They come hang at my bar, man, and just something about that backyard, man. And I put my work in that backyard. I built my own bar. Yeah. Hey, man, I work in my yard all the time in the back, man.
Yeah.
And me and my wife, we share that time, man. That hot tub is our thing. And that's
I don't know.
And we'll get that something hot.
You kind of underscoring that. I mean, this cat, he will go work, and y'all, you smoke it like in all different type of climates, all different type of heights, man. And then he'll get off work, man, and he will start working on that yard. And all I saw him was beating the hell out of pipe.
Working with his boys.
And the first thing
don't go there. Don't say it. Don't say it.
You say beating the hell out of pipe.
You know what I'm about to say. And I said, when I saw him beat that pipe, I was like,
saw him beat a pipe.
Yeah, and I was like, I said, oh hell,
Big pause.
I feel for Jasmine.
Oh, he couldn't.
Country boy way. Get down there anytime you can.
He couldn't do it. He couldn't maintain shit.
Country boy way. Get
want to talk about beating pipes, all right.
Hey, and to all my people, my fans out there, man, if you know me, my friends that's been checking in, they've been looking at our podcast, man.
Yeah.
Come hang out with us on Wednesday, man. Come hang out with us on Friday, man.
I know
you're
where
invited. If you bring bad energy, you ain't coming back. If you bring good energy, baby, we rolling with you, man. Come smoke a cigar with us, bro.
Escort off the premises.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We don't take the bad energy, man. And then, my other little hobbies, I got little things. I like to draw. I mean, man, I like.
What you like to draw?
I mean, hey man, little cartoons here and there with my son.
We're not gonna go there.
I got hey man, the architect, and I like to draw stuff that you do in your backyard. Sometimes it gets stolen, but it's good shit though.
Somebody steals.
He likes to draw a kitchen and then say you stole his bar idea.
Oh wow,
that's what he said.
That's
right. Bring the picture over because I know you still got the picture. Ain't no bar in that picture. That's some damn grill, the fire pit, all that
smoke.
Yeah.
Somebody stole your blueprint?
No,
a little bit, not much. He took a little sniblet.
There's no sniblet in the bar.
And one thing about Steve. One thing my brother Steve, they talk about my brother Steve. Hey, I'm gonna tell you like this here. You can give Steve a nugget and he'll turn it into a whole chicken, bro.
Yes, he
He's
will,
just that type of dude, man. And it's like, that's what make this family so strong, man. It ain't like a steal thing. It's good minds. Hey, you give me something, Steve gonna run with it.
Yes.
He ain't got to run behind kids. He run behind his backyard. That's his thing. You know what I'm saying?
And
so
we better for it.
Without him doing that, this group wouldn't exist.
Right,
man.
and he
shout out to my
inspired
brother,
us
man.
to keep dumping our money in our backyard. Cause he told me when he first met me, he's like, "Hey, bro, your house is a project and it never stops." He hasn't lied about it. Cause when
I wish he would have lied about it.
When you make it something that you love and you want to invite people to, man, you never get tired of just making something new about it.
And we got to go back on that because on one of y'all previous podcasts, y'all kind of alluded to this dude was not the most sociable person.
It wasn't
out there, man.
Yeah.
You know,
we've already talked about him slamming the door in your face.
Okay. All right.
But now that we got Byron here, this is who we talk about where I was so disrespectful with as being a recluse.
Hey, man.
He has a hobby of slamming the door in people's face.
Byron is the only guy. My mama, when she come through, she be like, "Who is that coming in the back door?" I say, "The only cat that can come in the back door." Because that man would do anything for me, bro. Been babysitting my kids since I got this neighborhood, bro. He been taking care of me, bro.
Shout out to B-Run. That's why he in here, bro. Our aficionado. Trav. What's your favorite hobbies, brother? Before we get off this, what's your favorite?
Man of all trades.
Jack of all trades. Travis of many.
This might go long.
Jack and master of all trades.
Travis of many.
He's a Jack master?
Yeah. Oh.
Big pause. Big pause.
Give me that flag right now.
God damn.
Outside of that hobby, what's your other hobbies?
Throw that at Chris. Flag on the flag.
Oh man. I do a lot of things, but as far as hobbies,
Yeah.
my number one will probably be working on old school cars.
Oh, wow.
I got a couple of them. 1970 Mustang Fastback. Have a 1968 Mustang Fastback and a 68 C10.
I hope it's actually one of them cars are ready for this year. Greg Street has his event, Cigars and Cars every year.
Yeah, man.
That would be nice to show up there, bro.
There's been a little bit of a hindrance because, as you all know, because of COVID, a lot of part companies, everybody had the extra money buying up all the parts, so there's like a lag in parts. So you kind of held back a little bit, availability of parts and everything. So it's taking me a little bit of time, but hopefully I can get that completed this year. That's one of my big goals. The first one I got is the 68 Mustang Fastback. Okay. Working on the motor, working on transmission and all that. Once I get that done, it's just ready to go to paint, and I'm rolling.
Okay. Hey, man, that's what's up, man.
Yeah, man.
Something to Smoke To podcast, man. We're going to keep it moving along, man, because we got a lot to talk about tonight. We've been going through a lot. Outside of your hobbies, we make a lot of time for our brothers. We make a lot of time for work. How do you keep it hot with your wife, man? How do you keep it hot at home? Because if you don't, you won't be able to do none of this shit. And, I start out by saying, to keep it hot, me and Alice, we try to keep our date nights going. We try to go to different restaurants around the city. One of our favorites is Chops downtown. Chops in American Cut. That's one of our favorites. And I could probably think of some more, but we try to, visit different restaurants. Lately, because of Steve and Denise, we have gotten more into traveling, trying to make sure we plan those trips together and see the world together, and we've really been enjoying that these last couple of years. Also, one of the things I used to do, which I probably should do more, is random gifts. My wife always tell me one of my love languages, this is what she says, is random gifts. She know I like to buy shit. And the other thing that I love to do, which actually started because of our Fridays, is the old wake her up when she sleep. When I get home on Fridays, I believe my baby was made that way because Alice, she'd come down on Fridays sometime, but she'd also leave early, and she knew to drive her car because she's gonna go home early, and we actually down the street, but she still drive up there. She go home early, and I know she'd be asleep. But I'll be good and right by the time I get home. Like, hey, you still up?
That's why your alarm go off every Friday at 10:30. The bar. He at the same time he get up gotta go.
I have timed her perfectly, and I believe that's how my daughter got here. But what do y'all think, man? What are some of the things you do to keep your relationship hot while we, with the little time that we have?
Well, man, I say this, man. My wife love language is communication, man. She like to talk. And my thing is, man, I try to make sure I have time. And I ain't gonna lie, I run behind our kids, going to sports, doing all kind of things.
You do more than run, brother.
Yeah.
Don't cut.
That's another job.
I see you out the window. It could be midnight.
Like today, I hit 3 different gyms, man. Hey, man. God. Hey, man, we made it to the mall to buy my kid. He say he needed new shoes, so I had to go get new shoes. Hey, man. It's a constant.
That's the kids. We talking about Jasmine though.
Yeah. Hey, man. I'm just giving it to you, man. It's a constant thing of communication, sit time, making sure I make it time for that backyard. Like I say, we sit in a hot tub. We have those talks. We spend that time together, man. And like you, Chris, I'm a gift giver, even though she don't care what you get her. You could buy Jasmine one flower and have a saying with it. She loved the saying more than she liked the flower. So it's just
deep, man.
It's all about communication.
It's all about communication with her. So I just have to do better with that. And
well, my wife is a Virgo too. So,
the Virgo is deep, man. And me as a husband, I'm a little rough around the edges. I come from the country, and man, I have to slow down and pump the brakes sometimes. Like Travis, I could get to working a lot, stuff like that. But man, to keep my house hot, I make sure I spend time.
I understand.
That's the way I do it, bro.
Steve-O, I'm gonna keep this thing in order. Steve-O, what y'all do, man?
All right, so along the same lines with the date night, even as much of an asshole as I am slamming doors in people's faces, that was also my damn problem. Even within my own household, you take things for granted, because my wife's her favorite terms like, how come we ain't still dating? And it took me a lot of years. Like I thought that part was over with. We already checked that block, so it's we already married. But you always got to keep that flame going. And I'm not always super great at doing that. I have to really focus on it because there are things that my love language is. If I'm building this backyard, that's part of it. And not that she's not appreciative of it, but it's just not enough because it's not making the time for her. Although we spend a lot of time back there together, it reaps its rewards. It's those small things in there. So I think a lot of us have these date nights now. So we used to try to do it on Saturdays, but it never really worked out because we'd be at the bar on Friday and then Saturday doing a lot of things. And it's like the time just doesn't seem to be there. So we kind of we actually jumped on Smoke's bandwagon because his date night was Tuesdays on there because I didn't yours used to be on Wednesdays and you had to shift left because you built the bar?
Not really.
Yeah, the shift left because of us.
Nah, it used to be like we movie time on Saturdays.
Okay.
But you know what I'm saying? We went to Tuesdays because we both got caught up in what we doing in life.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And now we have shifted back to Saturdays because Saturday nights seem to be the times we're both free.
Okay. Yeah, for me it's obviously Wednesdays are out, Fridays out. My wife is super understanding about that and she's very supportive of this podcast now that it's on Sundays. Yes. She's excited for us for what we're doing because once again I was worried. I was like, man, how many times a week am I going to be gone? That I'm sacrificing that. So now it's Tuesday or Thursday, whichever one we decide to do. I tried right away on Tuesday, but if something comes in the way, we'll sit there and have a conversation. Hey, we're going to shift that one to Thursday. But now I've got myself in the routine, of not planning it the day of the date. I think a little far ahead, and I've already stolen a couple of Smoke's recommendations because he's always on TikTok for local establishments, and when we did date nights, we'd go to Atlanta a lot of times, which was also a hindrance because man, who wants to come home from work and then you got to go back through rush hour into Atlanta, to go somewhere. There's a lot that goes into that. So once they really started bringing the square back around, rebuilding it and making it more of a nightlife and getting rid of the, not just focusing on the bookstores and stuff that's in there. You got different places you can hang out. We go over there, and then Smoke gave me a couple of ideas to look up. So we went to what was that, Kojo? What's that Korean barbecue spot?
You talking about
Kopo? K-pop. Went and checked that out. It was really good, but we really try to stay focused on that. Sometimes go to the movies. If something's out, we go up to AMC, which is about 15 miles up the road. Over there,
AMC Theater.
Yeah, exactly, AMC Theater. Or sometimes it's just staying at home. I did something the other day. I tell you, I got my damn foot massager to soak my feet in because they hurt so bad. So I sat there, even on we decided not to go anywhere. So I just made that and got her feet soaking in some water. We sat there, watched the movie, and that was its own thing. The hot tub, always a big hit. Go back there and relax, and it's just really
You guys got hot tubs.
Yeah, spending time together, man.
I love it.
And conversating, because
again, communication.
Oh, it definitely is, man. And when things ain't going well, the communication sometimes sucks, because those conversations ain't great. Because it's not criticism. That's not the word I want to use, but it's you go through the tough times on how to get there. But then when you start finding that sweet spot, and it's like it's no longer forced. I look forward to them now. Y'all know I'm a recluse. I love to be in the backyard, but now I look forward to those date nights. I look forward to going somewhere. I even look forward with us. A couple times went to the Cigar Bank. Smoke put it together for my birthday that we all went to the Cigar Bank. I was like, oh man, this is pretty cool. Went back, did it again, and then last night, going to the listening party once again. Shout out to Amy Luciano for her listening party.
Oh yeah,
had a really good time there. But phenomenal time with my wife, and you know, a lot of times we do things together as couples, you know, go over there. And so that's dope too, because a lot of our wives have great relationships as well. We've been very fortunate that that we have that. So it makes things a lot easier, because, you know, when your wife looks at your friends like they her brothers, you know, she's way more receptive and understanding with that. And she knows the importance of that to me. And I had to really focus on what's important to her, which is putting my time in for her and not just assuming because she's my wife, I've already checked that block and I don't have to do nothing else. And I really sucked at that for a lot of years, and I go in and out of doing of thinking of her versus not, you know, taking it for granted, you know. But she's good for course correcting, you know. Say, hey, you're going a little too far left. Come on, I'm right over here. Let's get back on track. And we're in a good space right now, and I'm seriously feeling it, man. I love it.
Yes, hey, man, shout out to the wives, man. I gotta say they do a good job at allowing us the opportunity and the time to be men. Like one of the things they did in Jamaica when we went to Jamaica is they didn't bother us about smoking cigars and all the things we do, playing dominoes.
And we was worried about that.
They didn't bother us at all, man. And shout out to them, man, because they gave us the room to just be men. You know what I mean?
And they did their thing too.
Yeah, and they did their thing too, man. Shout out to the ladies. Byron, man. How you keep it hot, man? How you keep it hot?
Well, for me and Brenda, she works a lot, and so when we do have an opportunity, we love to travel. So I think last year
y'all good for them.
Yeah,
getaways.
I will leave at a moment's notice, and
no backpack,
nothing, no backpack.
A go bag. He got a go bag.
And I think we went to Rome last year, and then we had our 20th wedding anniversary in Jamaica. Yeah. And I'm so glad that you guys were able to come with us, and that's good, because we do things as a group, you know, with the wives and the husband. We all get together because of the relationships that we have, and we hang out. I also like going to smooth jazz events at Sweet Lounge. So we'll go and we'll catch a headliner and get out and have dinner there and listen to some music. So traveling and going to jazz concerts is one thing that we do to keep it hot.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Trying to get the wine opener for my brother. Something to Smoke 2 podcast, man. I love it, Byron, man. Keep it going, man. Y'all have inspired the whole group with the traveling and the things y'all do. Trav, how you keep it hot, brother?
Man, shoot, work in progress, bro. Y'all know my schedule be all kind of crazy, and I don't know how many kids everybody have, but I have 4, and my wife is from Savannah, I'm from Miami, so we don't have the supporting cast that most people have. So our kids go, we go, so it's very little solo time.
Yeah.
But I think in the last couple of months, we've made a little bit of an effort on Thursday nights to kind of get some takeout, pick a movie, because we don't have babysitters, so it makes it hard to go out.
Yeah.
So, just try to make some me time. And it's a little hard because the kids are still in the house, but just that effort, you know. We both agree that, once we get through raising these kids right, giving them the upbringing that they need, our time will come later. So it's more of a compromise.
So y'all have to be a little creative when y'all.
Yeah, very creative. And just try to, the one thing I've learned is the touching, touching affection. Most guys, you don't really think about it. You just only touch when, you want a little something, you want to hit something.
You walk by in the kitchen,
hey,
and
man,
slap her
I
ass
try
real
to
quick.
grab everything I can, just to let her know
you
that.
A grabber.
He's a grabber.
Yes. I have great grip. Yeah, but that's my way of basically showing attraction. I still want you. Now sometimes it may be annoying, but I love it.
Yeah.
So,
I bet you do.
I want you.
So, not
Hope
so
nobody
much.
slaps my ass right now.
So we don't go out as much as you guys, but we try to get it in, man.
Hey, man, ain't nothing wrong with that. I know you can't wait till the kids graduate so y'all can go buck wild. Something to Smoke 2 podcast, man. Along those lines, man, keeping it in the realm of things you like to do. I want to know around the group, another viewer asked us, what's some of the things, albums that we like to listen to while we're smoking and relaxing and playing dominoes and doing whatever. one of the viewers asked me this question, so I want to start by saying, you know, of course, I listen to my favorites. Y'all know I listen to Outkast a lot. Outkast, Aquemini, and ATLien's album. I can't rank either one of them because I listen to them back to back. Sade, Greatest Hits. I am a Sade fan. Y'all know when we playing dominoes, you coming in here, I'm playing Curtis Mayfield. Greatest Hits, Curtis Mayfield Radio on Pandora, man. I love it. And Erykah Baduism is one of the ones that I really like to listen to while I'm smoking, while I'm having my drink and meditating and things. To answer the viewer's question, what are some of the albums that you like to listen to? And I'm gonna start with Byron on this because he's also a music aficionado also.
Oh man, it's just my personal preference. It's nothing like smooth jazz. It's, you know, you have a hectic day and an excellent pairing with a cigar is just some smooth jazz. I listen to George Duke. I listen to Lee Ritenour. I will listen to Miles Davis.
Yeah. Big jazz guy, huh?
Yes, and so any smooth jazz.
You should have went to the jazz festival last year.
Yeah, I knew you was gonna say that shit.
Let me tell you about that.
Let me tell you about the jazz festival.
Yeah. And that's the crazy.
You wasn't there.
The crazy thing is that Steve,
That's the point.
With everything, Steve has been like the novice of shit, and then would this be a motherfucking expert in 30 days? And I'm
30
like,
days.
He
right.
went to see people I only imagine to see. So I'm, you know, I'm kind of envious of the trip.
Boney.
Yeah, Boney James, man, is one of the.
So he had you hot in the ass.
Yeah, man, I was really hot in the ass because I didn't see all those.
Speaking of hot ass,
Oh shit!
my shit's still on fire.
Do you need to walk outside real quick?
You see me shifting in my seat.
What a water hose at?
Get that man some
spray his
Neosporin.
ass.
That's what I'm talking
And I
about.
also like old school R&B. I love Curtis Mayfield.
Yeah.
And I love Isaac Hayes. So listen to that genre of music. Is some of the music I listen to. While I'm smoking, and it kind of just put me in the place I need to be.
Yeah, I understand that. Trav, our other music aficionado, brother, what you like to listen to, man? Answer the viewer's question.
It depends on what I'm doing, man. Yesterday we were doing a little bit cleaning up around the house, and end up putting some vinyl on, man. Some Marvin Gaye, What's Going On
You
album.
wanted to hear the crackling in the record.
Yeah, man, ain't nothing like that sound, man.
Yeah.
But it just depends on the mood, man. If I'm relaxing, I want some old school Marvin, Barry, just something to relax you. You don't want to be turned up too high, But if you want to go in, man, like you said, if you're in that mood with the wife and everything, Sade hits every time.
Man, every time, bro. I can play her.
That's why I got 4.
Sade the reason why you got 4?
Oh,
yeah. Well, I can blame it on her too. Smoke. What's some of your favorite albums, man?
Well, y'all know I'm that country boy, man.
Or the things you like to listen to when you're smoking?
Big Crit.
Yeah, man. I'm a Big Crit fan, man. When I'm sitting back and I'm chilling, I'm listening to Big Crit. I ain't gonna say albums, man. It be songs for me, and it be cuts for me, man. And then I go into. I'm a down south fella, so I'm a Dungeon Family radio man. I'm a listen to Dungeon Family all the time, man. And then,
Shout out to the Dungeon.
Then I'm like Byron. I go to the old school, man. I got to have my Bootsy Collins, man.
Oh man, that Bootsy.
I got to have that Bootsy, man. And it's just something about Bootsy.
Yeah, I'd rather be with you.
To our young viewers, man, we kind of old.
Yeah, we hey,
Or old soul. One of the two.
Old souls.
We are, but Big Crit is a new soul. Is a young soul, but he touched on old music. He did songs with B.B. King.
He got an old soul though, man.
Yeah, he did songs with B.B. King. That was things that his grandma listened to, man, and that's really that's why I really like that fella. He go through the music, and he found that sound that's able to touch the people and touch that genre that he loved, and he don't stray from that just to fit in the group. And man, I still like my rap. I'm like Steve. I like DMX. I like my Nas. Hey man, I
really
love,
like Nas too,
I love my 8 Ball and MJG.
Yeah.
I love my UGK. Man, you can't tell me nothing about Pimp C. I am a Pimp C fan to the death of me.
Rest in peace,
Pimp C. And Bun B, man, you already know we ride with you with anything you do, man.
Anything you do, man.
Anything you do. E40, man, I love your wordplay. I love the things you put down. We 3-6 Mafia.
And we love your wine.
3-6 Mafia, we don't stop. Hey, and then I'm like my brother Steve, man. I could jump into some stuff that he didn't know I had the rock and roll side of me.
Yeah,
I like old rock and roll, man. I'm a Kiss fan. I am, man, a Peter Frampton.
I'm glad you brought that up because they thought we were gonna be all R&B and hip hop.
Peter Frampton.
Smoke do
man.
that by himself, right? You know, we didn't even know that until we was helping him with his bar one day. And he was playing that. We looked at him. He's like, "Yeah, I don't tell nobody about this shit right here." Like, Smoke got some inner white person up in him. Man. He was over there. Me and Eddie was looking at him like, "What fucking station is you listening to?"
I don't think you have any more inner white person than you.
It's all red.
It's all red.
Hey, man.
I got plenty of hot link.
Hey, man.
Red hot.
We know who started this rock and roll thing, but at the end of the day, man, the influence of that music, man, just humbles you, man.
Yeah.
And you have to respect the work they put in. So
they
so
put in
for
a lot
my
of work.
listeners that was talking about albums, it ain't always albums. It's just nice cuts, nice music. And man, we just get the vibing. And all of us, man, we could get the vibing really hard.
Really hard.
And play them dominoes all night long, bro. And any of y'all think y'all good at dominoes? Meet us in the backyard, baby.
We gonna learn you something. Steve,
Thank you, brother Steve, for just turning us out.
No problem. No problem.
Pause. Steve, what's some of the shit you like to listen to?
All right, kind of like what Smoke said, not necessarily about the artist, but these days I'm not about albums because albums ain't out like they used to be. Yeah. I'm more about the era, and most of my when it comes to hip hop and R&B is going to be my '90s era. You know, on Fridays it's always Ja Rule Radio because they put a hell of a mix out that we sit there listening to in the backyard. On Sundays when I come out, it's either I'm going to play J.P. Cooper Radio, and y'all know him. Those playlists that they come out with are phenomenal. Or
I know him from you.
There you go. And we talked about that a while back. Got some nice songs out there, or the smooth jazz. During the summertime, you know, when I get into my Sundays is Caribbean Day at the house. Y'all know that from when you come over on Sundays. It's always the Caribbean Day, man. So
rum and coke.
The rum and coke, the Caribbean music, listening to it. And then, man, every once in a while, I don't even know how. I think Byron's gonna know about it. I don't know if y'all know it. I go back to my childhood. My pops from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. All I heard growing up was the blues.
Yeah.
Bobby Blue Bland, B.B. King, just sitting back. So I sit in the backyard and just rock with that, or throw on some Temptations radio, and that covers everything.
Saturday cleanup
from the 60s, the 70s. It'll get into Michael Jackson, Prince, just depending on the day that you're listening to it.
Yeah.
And if I just want that old love nasty music. Hope I don't offend nobody, but R. Kelly's my man when it comes to that. You can't appreciate the man, but you can appreciate the art. And there's a lot of us and a lot of kids is here today because of R. Kelly, because he did something nobody else did, and he did it all the time.
He just tried to do it to some of the kids.
Exactly. Hey,
you peeing on folks?
Yeah. Whoa.
Oh man, flag on the throw the goddamn flag, please. Throw that flag, man.
I guess I called that one. And Byron went right with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go pee on Byron's tires on his car. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do.
Fire coming out.
Yeah, but that music, man, I can sit there. I mean, there won't be one song that you can't say word for word from R. Kelly if you listen to him when you was young, because every one of those was hit after hit after hit. Because you we could talk about R. Kelly, and I don't want to get off the subject, but we could say the same thing about Mike, right? You gotta appreciate the art. You ain't gotta appreciate somebody's personal life or the things that they did in life, but art is art at the end of the day. So I love that.
That's what I'm talking about. Something to Smoke 2 podcast, man. I'm loving it, man. And actually, I'm glad they brought the music conversation up, because that is some of the things that people do to just get their woo-saw moment. And, in the realm, with the popularity of men's health and everything going on in the world, and people trying to have the things that kind of just escape from the world, from the work week and all of that, man. Men's health is very important, man. I want to touch on that with the room. I'm gonna start with Trav, man. What are some of the things that you know get into as far as just trying to release from the work week and take care of yourself? Because that is something that we all should do.
Well, one of the things that I do is try to take a little bit of time each week for me. Part of that time is hanging out with you guys on Friday, Wednesday, and it gives me a release so that I can think of anything other than what I'm doing during the week. It's me time. It's what I want to do. I don't have to think about what the wife want, what the kids want, what the job requires. So that's one way I can like release the stress of the week and come back to it fresh.
And you've made that a priority because you come around all the time now.
Yes.
Back in the day, you were real hit or miss, but we can tell it means something to you now.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, once you find a good thing, you know, you kind of gravitate to it. And then the thing is genuine. You can find a lot of groups that kind of put together because of, you know, it's just convenience. But it's a little bit different with this one. With this group of men, everybody's good. Everybody's good to their wife. Everybody's a good man in general. And everybody cares about each other. It's not a financial thing. It's not a competing thing. It's I want to see you do better.
Right.
I want to see you do well. And if I got something to help you do better, I'm gonna throw it in there. And that's rare that you can find because usually amongst guys, it's a macho thing. You know, swinging dicks thing. Ooh, you know.
Swinging what?
You know, it's out there. You know what I'm saying? Who's better? Who's got to be? You know what I'm saying? With the newest stuff. You know, it's always
balls dragging on the ground as you get older.
Red balls.
Red balls.
So yeah, man.
You ain't a man till your balls drop.
Just literally giving yourself that time to understand what you like, what you want to do, and then you can come fresh to other people's needs. But you got to give yourself something. You can't work yourself to death.
Yes, you got to keep it going, man. Well, I don't want to, hit this too many places, but I do want to find out, Steve, what you like to do, man? Because that's gonna lead into our next subject. What you like to do to just, release, bro, release.
Well,
Outside of we've talked about music and all these things, but and the hobbies, but we on men's health right now. How do you take care of you?
So there was a time in my life up until probably the last 10 years I thought I was immortal. Nothing could break me, nothing could hurt me. There's no way to die. But then you start realizing that ain't true. And a lot of that comes when you start losing family and friends, and it makes you kind of reassess yourself. We've lost a brother to cancer. We've had I'm not gonna call people's names out or anything like that, or people that have had cancer and beat cancer, and so it actually inspires other people to take care of themselves. But as a man, as you approach that 40-year-old mark, there was getting that prostate checked, and it's like, ain't nobody doing no stuff like that to me. Like, hey man, I'm just gonna have to take one for the team at that moment. Now they got different tests to do that, but just because of what's happened to people that I know, I was like, man, I'm not gonna pass that up. I'm everything I can do to find out whether or not something's wrong with me early, that I can catch it. Because if you're not taking care of yourself, you're being selfish. Yeah. Especially if you're married, because you ain't thinking about your spouse. If you sitting there trying to be a tough
you ain't
guy,
thinking about your kids.
Yeah, you ain't. Yeah, exactly. You ain't thinking about nobody but yourself. If you sitting there not getting yourself taken care of, so that if something happens and you can catch it early, you can bounce back from it. So that from that physical aspect, you go get your annual physicals. To me, they're pretty much garbage these days. They don't do nothing but, put you on an EKG, check your blood, this, that, and the other. There's nothing out there telling you whether or not you got cancer from a physical, And by the time most people get diagnosed with cancer, they too far along. They already, by the time a symptom shows you at a stage 3. And, the healthcare system doesn't seem like they have nothing in a physical that they can go check things, with the exception of a colonoscopy or a prostate exam to help you out. And then the thing that's more prevalent in our modern day, whether it's through social media or for my military family, your mental health. Things can go left for you real quick. That's one of the biggest things that you don't see in people. And you got it even. Within this group, you can miss that. If you're not around people enough, you can see. When something's wrong. I like Smoke is the ultimate people reader. He'll sit there, man. You walk up in there in like 5 seconds. What's wrong with you? What you talking about? Something off, man. I'll be coming there, and ain't shit wrong with me. I'll be like, how that motherfucker know that? I'm sitting there, still won't tell it all. I could have been just arguing with my wife. Come over and we had a bad moment. Come over there, and he knows it immediately. People just are those natural people readers. So when you see people that are off, man, you need to find out. You need to ask. You need to take care of your brother, and whether it's in your immediate family, your extended family, people you're at with work, man. People know people, so when something's off, you got to poke and prod. And if you're that person that has that issue, man, don't be scared to talk to people. Whether it's in a group forum, you want to seek counseling. Most people are skeptical of doing stuff like that, but my greatest counselor is this group right here. You guys are my psychologists. I'd say psychiatrists, but none of you are drug dealers, so that doesn't.
Nobody present.
You can't do nothing like that. But from a talking perspective, that's a big deal. This has done a lot for my mental health. I don't slam doors in people's faces anymore because of that.
Thank you so much.
So that's what it is for me.
But Steve, you touched on something about that I want to piggyback on about the health, especially men health, and being a prostate check or colonoscopy. Do you prefer a male doctor or a woman doctor?
We should always know this jackass is not going to sit here and say shit serious for a whole sentence.
Right.
But while he's saying it, it's a true statement. Cause don't tell if I go in there if it happens to be a man, I'm looking at his hands. Cause dude, if you got fat fingers, I'm going to request somebody else. But I'm telling you, if we go, this is real talk, right?
We in that section.
Hey, I went in for a prostate exam, man. It was a big girl. She was the doctor. That was the most aggressive prostate exam I ever had in my life. It lasted like 0.7 seconds, but it was like she stuck 3 fingers in at one damn time, and she just went. I don't even know if she lubricated that shit because I was bow-legged when I left out of that damn thing, man. It was terrible.
Did you want to go to the corner and like roll up in the fetal position?
She just walked out, handed me some tissue for me to wipe the goddamn KY jelly off when it was all said and done. I was so, man, I wasn't ashamed about the prostate exam, but man, that woman, she didn't have no soft touch. She was just, it was like, she wanted her to get it over with. Like, hey man, I'm not saying you got to be sexual, but god damn it, you ain't got to hit that pipe like that.
Was she your first?
Did she kiss you afterwards?
No, she did not. I'm telling you, I walked out there bow-legged, man. It was terrible.
Hey, Steve, was she your first?
She was my second. That was my second prostate exam. They'll sit there and tell you, hey, what is it? Every 5 years you need to get a problem. I'm not a believer in that. I'm like, why? Who determined that timeline, man? On a serious note,
why do I have to come back?
Exactly, but now you can honestly avoid that part because of your what are the levels called? I forget the acronym for it. When you get your
blood test.
Yeah, the blood test, but it's a letter format that you call that they can tell whether or not you have an enlarged prostate or something's wrong. Because as you get older, your prostate naturally enlarges anyway. So somebody will give you a check and like, oh, your prostate's a little bit enlarged, but when you start turning 40, it naturally does that anyway. So it takes you on to the next level. You'll go get tested. They'll do blood work, and eventually now, as part of the physicals, they're no longer doing at least I haven't experienced that in the last few years, as the actual physical prostate exam, they're literally testing you for that. And so it comes back in your blood work. So if you're too shamed about the other one, technology is taking over a little bit. So get yourself checked, get your colonoscopy, man. You're going to be unconscious anyways. The worst part about a colonoscopy is the 24 hours leading up to it where they sit there and flush you out. And when I tell you, man, you ain't doing nothing but peeing out your butt for 24 hours. It absolutely sucks. I think Byron had one recently, right? In there, and I've had mine within the last year. That part is terrible. The procedure's nothing. You're under anesthesia. You don't feel nothing. You don't feel violated in any kind of way when it's afterwards. But there's nothing like knowing the results when at the end of the day. On a serious note, to know whether you're a little more healthy. So you then the eating right, the working out. I got back on a health trip since last July. I was on a 3-year fat boy hiatus, and I was struggling not being able to breathe walking up the stairs. I was like, why am I out of breath walking up my damn stairs to my bedroom? And one day I finally just got my head out of my ass and started going. The first 30 days is tough, man, but after that it becomes a routine. And then as you start seeing results, it becomes obsessive, and then and your body will reward you for that, and potentially your life will be longer because of it.
And to bring it full circle, man, that's what all this is about. I mean, the entire conversation is really about taking care of yourselves to take care of your family. You got to take care of you to take care of them. And keeping it in the realm of healthcare, Steve. Hold on, what you got, Smoke? What you got,
man?
Smoke?
I ain't get to chime in. I just want to say this, man. You know, sometimes I mess with these guys. They know me. I love my grill. But, man, I just feel like I got to get off the meat. And
Is that time?
Big pause.
You gonna give up giving meat or taking meat?
Taking it.
He doesn't want to take any meat anymore.
Hey, man. Even though they playing with it,
Just
We
want to be
got
clear.
so many penalties tonight.
Yeah. Even though they playing with it, man, I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. Y'all look up Dr. Sebi, man, and y'all think about eating y'all vegetables, man, eating y'all fruit, man.
Rest in peace, Dr. Sebi, man.
Yeah, rest in peace, Dr. Sebi, man. I just feel like, man, you know, I don't know if the medical field really care about us. I think they care more about the money.
I'm actually glad you said that. Go ahead.
So my thing is, man, even with the prostate exam, even with all that stuff, they lining you up to get you there. And man, I have had family members go into the hospital and not come out of the hospital. And man, we don't want to see that.
Nah, we definitely
don't want to see that, man. So my thing is, man, take it amongst yourself to correct your diet.
Yes, man. Take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself. And I know us, we like our meat because, hey, we grew up in a society that tell us chicken is the best and things like that. But, man, I think chicken is the worst thing, man, because if you can grow a chicken and within 2 or 3 days, that's letting you know something, man. And, man, I just feel like my vegetables is what I've been trying to focus on eating at least 5 days a week.
Yes.
At least 5 days a week, because, you know what I'm saying?
We got to get you up to 7.
Yeah. And I got to get up to 7, man, you know. And then on the weekends, I try to splurge and do my, you know, eat like the family eat.
Right.
Yeah.
But I haven't had a colonoscopy. I haven't had my colon checked. None of that stuff, because my daddy was on my butt about it. But I was like, dude, I'm not doing it, bro. But at the end of the day, I listen to y'all fellas, and I'm going to have it done.
Yeah, I'm in your boat.
Because
That's what's up.
yeah, I haven't it done. So, you know what I'm saying? I still will have it done, but I know it's on me to do the right thing. And I know the right thing is for me to calm down on the meat and get on these vegetables.
When I
eat vegetables.
You can't stop eating that fish, right?
Yeah. And I ain't gonna lie, I go catch my fish and I'm gonna
Catch it and eat it.
and I'm gonna eat my fish.
So you got to catch the fish before you eat the fish.
But we know in
What fish
city.
you referring to?
I think you talking about Rap Pink.
And we know city after city is having problems with water and all kind of stuff, man. So we have to be careful with everything that we putting into our bodies, man.
true.
And it's a hard process. It's a hard thing to even look into, because like our brother Eddie tell us, that's 70-something years old, tell us straight up, hey, bro, eat what you want.
I thought it was 100.
My fault. Eat 60-something years
62.
old. 62.
105.
Tell us straight up, eat what you want to
He
eat.
was in World War II, right?
Yeah.
Eddie's a vampire. He been around for a long time.
Right. He tell us all the time, eat what you want to eat, but exercise, man.
Yeah.
And that dude is first of all, he's an anomaly. He's a phenom. The dude is 62
Yeah.
years old, works out 7 days a week, starting at 4 o'clock in the morning. Can't nobody match what that dude is doing.
No.
He's a physical anomaly.
So
That's
to
what I'm
my
talking
people out there, man, let's get on our vegetables. Let's get on our gardens and our yard. And figure it out for ourselves.
My
Take care
vegetables
of
are on a
yourself.
missing poster.
Yeah.
Have you seen them?
MIA.
That's a
Like
very
I
short list.
said, man, keeping it in the healthcare realm. Steve, you had some things happen in the last couple of weeks with healthcare that we need to let the people know as much as you can. If you need to leave out some things, that's fine. But tell us about what happened, man.
All right. So I don't have to leave anything out because I've had this conversation with my wife, and
You got it cleared.
She was okay.
Right.
I asked before this we canceled last week's podcast, but before then, I asked about it if she was okay with it, and she was. So my wife had a little bit of a healthcare scare. She's a type 2 diabetic, but she hasn't been taking anything for about 10 or 11 years. She's been controlling it through diet and exercise and doing a phenomenal job with it. But here lately, she was not feeling so well. She thought it was her blood pressure. She was convinced it was that. And then she went in for her quarterly checkup with the doctor, blood work and all that. And her blood sugar was like 350, 360 somewhere. And anybody who knows what that means, if you over 100, you start becoming compromised. She was at the borderline where they like, hey, you need to go to the emergency room. And she'd had, as we backtrack, she's like, man, I don't even know how long I've been feeling like that, because she was good in October and she had her levels checked. But since then, up till now, she would feel some kind of way every now and again. She thought it was her pressure, because she has high blood pressure in her family. So that's where she was convinced that it was. So we had to she had to go to the doctor. Had a horrible experience in the emergency room. They didn't want to give her anything. They couldn't get no results back. They were like, we're just gonna give you some IV, flush you out, and spent 4 hours in the emergency room for nothing. The next day she goes back to her doctor. They give her a prescription. Goes to the pharmacy. The pharmacy's like, we can't fill this, blah, 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 because of your insurance. And we're retired military. So, yeah, you hear people say, you got good insurance? We got good insurance. But they wouldn't approve it. I forget exactly what type of.
They wouldn't approve it.
They would not. They said, you have to get special approval for this. So she goes back to the doctor, and sometimes, when it comes to generic drugs, if you take something, sometimes the generic drug doesn't work and you have to get the real drug. And so you have to have your doctor say that. So we went through that process, go back to the pharmacy. I'm listening to my wife, and they still wouldn't fill it. No, so she's calling, going back and forth.
Yeah.
And she really needed this damn medicine. And it came to the point like, well, you're going to have to submit it through TRICARE. And they're like, yeah, we're going to send it to you through Express Scripts. It's going to take a week and a half to get there. And it's all going to be filled by mail. And she's like, well, what about right now? And we were just, they're giving her a pill, give her this. And so we went in there and spent $1,000 to get a damn prescription. That we ain't getting that back. And, fortunately, we have that money. We'd have mortgaged the house for a prescription if that's what we had to do, because you can't play around with that. But it was just one of those
we
things.
all would have gave it to you.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we all would have done that for each other, because most of y'all know. You first of all, you can see it in somebody's demeanor when things ain't right, and you're sitting there nervous. She's nervous. That makes me nervous. And you think you go to the doctor, you'll fix it real quick, boom. But we weren't getting no results, and it was like, hold on. We just can't get the medication. That's literally what we're talking about here. She's had to go through it. The medication they gave her is for A1C, so she had to. She's getting that regulated now. Still, her body's trying to adjust, because she's starting to think that her body had her sugar so high so long that as it's going down, it actually makes her feel bad. Right. She'll get dizzy, she'll get nauseous, trying to figure it out. But she has good moments. There are times where things get a little hazy for her. She gets dizzy. Even today, same thing. But overall, she's doing a lot better. But to have gone through that,
I'm glad to hear that.
It's just to have gone through that when you so-called have good insurance. Imagine the people who have no insurance, because people have no insurance. Your only option is the emergency room. In the emergency room, their whole job is to get you out the emergency room. It's not to sustain you in any kind of way. It's like, we're going to hold you over till you get to your provider the next day. Yeah. Well, if you don't have insurance, you ain't got no provider.
Yeah,
you go in there.
Care.
Yeah, exactly. That's all that is. And I have to. Everybody knows healthcare in America sucks. Everything is about making money. Once they privatize healthcare, just is no different than the prison system. It's about profit. It's not about taking care of people. Because if nothing was privatized, I'd be willing to bet we'd have a lot more cures of stuff that's sitting out there. Because why would a pharmaceutical company want to come out with a cure when they can sit there and sell you medication to sustain you and keep you alive? Because once they got the cure, the profits are gone. But that's a whole different topic. But definitely a scare in our household. It's only a couple of weeks removed, so we're still trying to figure it out. But it's been something different that makes us nervous.
Let me ask you this though, I've heard you say that y'all have good insurance, right? And I've heard quite a few people say they have good insurance because of the name military or corporate 500 company that has employee insurance. Right. But I've heard everybody run into some type of situation that you had, and it leads me to try to ask the question. You say it's good insurance, but to who? To the pharmaceutical companies because they know the company's willing to pay it out? Or is it because y'all have high premiums to the companies that have employee benefits, but it's in like on the actual user end, there's always a wall that everybody runs into where you end up coming out of pocket for good insurance.
Yeah. So my take on that, and this is just my opinion, and it's obviously going to be subjective. TRICARE is government regulated. It's not privatized.
Yeah.
So that's why you don't worry about those things, because it's not about profit. But what it is about is the cheapest thing that you can get when it comes to the pharmaceuticals. At the end of the day, she has her prescription now, but we're talking about 2 weeks, from the time that this whole thing started to where we get a letter in the mail saying, hey, this is going to start coming in the mail every month. And now it even backtrack, like, hey, now you can go get it from CVS or whoever your pharmaceutical place is that you go to. So when I say we have good insurance, that's because we have government insurance. It's not privatized, and those premiums are nothing. I'm going to tell you, I pay $35 a year for insurance.
Wow.
I know cats pay $600-700 a pay period to cover their families.
Right.
And if I can do it under the government, why does the next person have to sit there and pay that much money for their family? It's because it's privatized. It's all about profits. We should never have allowed that to happen. And those pharmaceutical companies, they control the campaigns, because they are the donors for the people getting into office. So they're going to lean those things towards their way. When I was younger, I wasn't big on those types of conspiracies. But but these days, it's all about money. And we had this conversation all the time. Government's the biggest gang in the world.
Yes, sir.
Hey, those drug dealers and the opioid crisis, they just legal drug dealers. And we you put people in prison for life over weed, something that's natural to you. But you got these opioid crises that destroy your life. Immediately destroy your life, because it alters your brain to where even if you kick it, you'll never be the same again.
Yes.
And so those are legal drug dealers that control the government. Biggest gang in the world.
It's the saddest thing I ever heard, man. I tell you, man, the system is fucked up. But I'm glad you said about the money thing, because it's all about profits. And right now, we got our tax guy. Byron is a man of many trades. We got our tax guy in the room, and we trying to take care of ourselves and take care of the money.
The money.
Byron, give the people some advice. Well, hold on. Before you even give me advice, I want to know from you, what are some of the craziest things you've seen during tax season, since you are the tax man?
Write-offs with no documentation.
Shit.
Hey, if you listening, write this shit down, because we don't want you to do this shit.
Whatever you do, please have a paper trail and an electronic trail. A lot of things that you could do. Say you got a hobby. Say your hobby is building dog houses. Well, you can pretty much kind of write that off on your taxes, but make sure that your documents are in order. Make sure if you are doing a side hustle, because that's the big thing now, side hustle, make sure your side hustle is structured properly. Make sure you go to Secretary of State and they know that you're doing whatever type of business you're doing, and you go to the IRS to get your EIN number so the IRS can let you know you're legit, and open up a bank account, and any money you receive and any money you expense out can be traced to that.
So every year you see people not do these things.
Oh no. It's like they'll tell me, oh yeah, I did this. And I said, well, you got a business bank account? No. Did you set it up with Secretary of State? No. But I spent this money. And I'm like, okay, so you kind of commingling your business money with your personal, and that's never good, because if you got somebody like the IRS, they're going to scrutinize, and if you don't have it in order, they can just disallow it. Yeah.
So they can just allow you not to even use that write-off.
Yeah, they say, yeah, we're not taking it.
Well, one of the things, me being an entrepreneur, that I do write off, and I want to let the fans know, hey, write these cigars off.
Yes.
Write your excursions off. This is entertainment. If I talk about business with you on a trip to Jamaica, guess what? I'm writing that whole thing off. Now, I want to make sure I'm right about doing that by the tax guy. Am I right about doing that?
Okay,
shit, right?
Okay, since we online.
We online. It's live.
Okay, give an instance. If you're going strictly for business purpose, you can do that. But if you're vacationing and going for business, you can only write off those expenses that was related to the actual business that you were transacting. So
okay.
Say if you went to Dominican Republic and you went to a real estate class, you can write off that real estate class and any meals associated with it.
Not the travel there?
Not the travel if that's not the principal reason you went. But
if it's not the principal reason.
Right, yeah. But if you went, the principal reason was to go to a workshop, okay, you can write off the hotel and you can work out right off the plane. But if you just going on excursions and you went one day for a business meeting, you can't write off the plane or the hotel. But if you going there to strictly for business purposes, you can write that off and then say, okay, while I'm there, the excursion, you can write off everything except that excursion.
Okay, so don't do what I said. Don't write off everything.
Exactly.
All right, y'all hear that? Don't write off everything.
This clarification, but the thing is that it's how you structure it. So you look for those expenses that say, hey, they have these event here that's business related. Let me go for that. And then you want to have a sidebar and do something. That's fine, but make sure that it's business related. Whatever you write off, and that you keeping good records. And you got to make sure you keep the invoice or the receipt on what you're doing, just in case somebody want to look over and make sure that's what it is.
Get a little bit of proof. At least take a snapshot of the receipt.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, for your tax.
And you're in the clear.
Take care of yourselves. Take care of your money, man. Something to Smoke 2 podcast, man. We have had a good night, man. I want to keep this thing going, man. They say we need to end off on a lighter note because the real talk section, we kind of go there. We go there. But I wasn't gonna talk about this shit, but I do want to get the opinion on tonight's event, which was the flag football Pro Bowl game. Did y'all want to see that shit or not?
I think every year I'm about to call it the flag football game, but the Pro Bowl has been declining year by year, and they've had to come up with these antics to keep people engaged in it. But it's just not the physicality, the excitement is just lacking.
Yeah. Did y'all want to see that shit, man?
Hey, man, I can't say I tuned in.
I mean, I actually saw them before y'all got in here do a drill, like they was pulling sleds across the field. And maybe these are the guys that are not going to the Super Bowl.
They are the guys not going to the Super Bowl.
You're right.
Well, there you go. But it's some bullshit to me. NFL, please check that shit. Do not put that on TV anymore. Something to Smoke 2 podcast, man. We've had a good night. I hate to end off on this kind of deep note, talking about taxes and healthcare, but at the same time, we got to give you the real talk, man. Something to Smoke 2 podcast. We are signing off, man. I love y'all.
Peace
out.
Peace out.
Six Element. We want the diamonds, we want the cars, we want the finer things. We want the house, we want the bags, we want the designer things. We gon' go up, up, up. We can't fall down, down, down. No, we can't wait. We need it now, now, now. We want the diamonds, we want the cars, we want the finer things. We want the house, we want the bags, we want the designer things. We gon' go up, up, up. We can't fall down, down.